Hello, welcome back to the Villa View. It's time for a match preview for Villa's home game against Bournemouth on Saturday. As you can tell, I've got someone new next to me for this match preview against Bournemouth. This is Jas, my friend from work, a Villa fan. You may recognise her from actually winning John Terry's trousers from the Villa View live event.
There you go, yeah.
You've been on the Villa View before, in that
sort
respect.
of, yeah. But
how much were they again?
Don't remind me.
140! 145! He's calling it out! Ooh. Going once, going twice. So! Wow! £140 for John Terry's trousers.
Jas, you were with me at the Spurs game.
I was.
How did you find it?
I think it was a good start. I'm annoyed at the bar situation still.
Let's not dwell on that. What about the game?
Okay, the game. Right, okay, fine.
I've gone on about the bar situation.
I heard.
Podcast, so
I just had to reiterate. No, I think it was a really good start. I think we've built we can see a really good foundation. Anything you get at Spurs is a bonus.
Do you think that? Because when you come so close, it'd be nice to take at least a point, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree. But I think if someone had offered you a draw at the start of the game, you would have grabbed it. But if someone had sort of been like, "Oh, you're gonna lose," you'd have kind of been like, "Oh,
okay,
expected." But I think we can take a lot away from it. Yeah, which I think is the important thing.
There's a lot of positives for sure. I just think when you come so close, it's only natural that you're going to be a little bit disappointed. But
it's the hope that kills you.
It is the hope that kills you. But there's plenty of positives, wasn't there?
Yeah, I agree.
1-0 up for so long, competing with a team that's an elite team that's been in the Champions League final recently.
Exactly. Yeah. But I do think that after 65 minutes we did look tired. But do you expect anything else?
I thought we looked tired after 45 minutes.
Do you think?
Well, yeah, because I don't think we touched the ball in the second half.
No, but I think that's quite unfair.
No. I'm being a bit Tom Julian, taking the lead, being a little bit devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, fair. But I think the most important thing was if we'd got absolutely thrashed, I think I would have been more worried about this Bournemouth game. But I think if we can play that well against Spurs, we've got, like I said, a lot to take away, and I'm feeling very confident.
Yeah, it's good to have 2 home games now, isn't it?
Yeah, and to start at Spurs away, first game of the season, I think come out and play like we did says a lot about our team as well. Yeah. And it shows as well that there was so many rumours before about, are they all going to click? Are we going to play as well as we did at the end of last season? Because you can see that sort of behind the scenes and whatever, they're all really good friends, and I think that you see that on the pitch. But I think they looked in really good shape.
Even the new players we were just talking before we came on, Engels looked like he'd been there for years.
He was incredible. Him and Mings were incredible. I'm a fan.
Yeah, big game for Mings as well, isn't it, at Villa Park on Saturday against his old team?
I know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, they're not that keen on him, I don't think, the Bournemouth fans. I think they weren't sorry to see him go. They were just happy to take big money for him. But for Villa, he's been a revelation.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. For Villa, he's been... I would have been absolutely gutted if we didn't get him in the window.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people said, he's really expensive.
No, he's not really.
No, I don't. I think for what we're getting and for how well he fitted in, I think we've done all right.
Well, you look at how he played on Saturday, arguably man of the match. I mean, Rollo put his stats up on the screen now. I haven't got him in front of me, but he had an unbelievable game. He felt like he headed everything away.
Well, when I was sort of reading about the game, out of the team, he got like top score from every match report that I read.
Oh, did it?
So yeah.
Okay, handy to know.
Always handy to know. Good to know one of us is that reading.
Well, you have come here, to be fair, with a lot of bullet points. You've come here full Tom Julian. We talked about this a little. I know you listened to the podcast yesterday. Me and Tom talked about it a little bit in the podcast. That last time we were in the Premier League, home form was terrible. We couldn't buy a win at home. We found it very difficult to play in front of our home. I mean, to be fair, we found it difficult to play anyway. I think we found it difficult to play our under-18s in a training game last time we were in the Prem. But at home, we were pretty rotten. In the Championship, we've sorted that out. You've done your research, and Bournemouth's away form, it's pretty sketchy, isn't it, since they've been in the Premier League? Yeah,
Bournemouth aren't great away from home, but like you said, we've been great at home.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we can take that and use it to our advantage, because why not?
what do you make of Bournemouth? Because really, I think they've been in the Premier League 4 seasons now. I don't remember them ever particularly struggling. Like they've never gone into a last day, for example, and you think, oh, they're in with a shot of going down.
Yeah.
But they've always been relatively comfortable. What do you make of Eddie Howe and Bournemouth? Sometimes I think he's a bit overrated, but then I look back and you think about actually realistically what he's done, and I think I'm wrong.
So I go through phases with Eddie Howe. I really like him as a coach. I feel like one day he could possibly be England manager, which is a big shout, but you heard it here first.
It's a fair shout.
Yeah.
In his first spell at Bournemouth, his win percentage was 50%. Second, he went to Burnley then for a season, but didn't really fancy it, and then came back to Bournemouth 2011 till now. He's got a 46% win percentage, which isn't the highest, but double promotions solidified them in the Premier League. I don't think people could ask for much more than that realistically. Yeah,
but at the same time, I think, like you said, he's not done anything. Okay, yes, they haven't got relegated, but what has he done? I'm talking like obviously double promotion, of course, but I'm talking recently.
They're just a solid Premier League outfit now. Who'll probably never be in danger of going down while Eddie Howe's there, and I think, to be fair, that is probably an achievement.
It is, but do you not think they should be now pushing? And it's not like they've not spent any money.
No, they've spent a lot of money since they've been down.
They have spent a lot of money.
I mean, they've given Liverpool a hell of a lot of money for reserve players. I think it was 25 million for Solanke, which just feels... Again, people say we overspent for Mings. How much have they spent on Solanke and Liverpool reserve? Jordan Ibe was about 15 million when they first got promoted, I think, as well.
And then, like you said, you compare that to Mings, and I mean, does anyone actually know what the final figure was for Mings?
It's about 20, and then with add-ons, if we do well, it'll be 26.5, I think.
So
that's only if we do well. Perslow was on Sky Sports News the other night saying everything we've done is measured.
Yeah.
If we have to spend extra on add-ons, it will be because Aston Villa have done well.
Yeah.
So
he was great on Sports News the other day.
He was very, very good.
I think he was really clear in saying
he was grilled.
He was grilled, but I mean, did we expect anything less?
No, I didn't expect them to be that intense.
Really?
No.
But I think the whole thing was because he does a lot with Sports News in general. But I think the main thing was we're not doing a Fulham.
No, and we need to get that across.
I agree, and no matter how much you try and explain to people why it's different, I feel like the general consensus was still you're doing a Fulham. We've not.
We know. I think, and Christian Perslow said himself, the Villa fans knew full well that's not what we're doing. But he wanted to get the message out to the wider public, so that's a good thing. I had a look at Bournemouth's game against Sheffield United. Sheffield United played very well at Bournemouth actually on Saturday. Gave them a bit of a fright from the first minute. Sheffield United were causing them problems. Could have scored very early doors in the game.
Sheffield United played a really good game.
Yeah. Bournemouth matched Sheffield United in that game and played 3 at the back, something they haven't done too often in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you think that would have been just for one game against Sheffield United because they play 3 at the back, or would you expect to see them playing 3 at the back against Villa? It's difficult to know.
It is, but I think part of me thinks they'll switch it up because they didn't have the best game against a newly promoted club. So I think Eddie Howe will be looking at it thinking, what are we going to do? But then at the same time, I think the question you have to look at is what are we doing up front? You've got to look at Wesley.
Yeah. You're not impressed with him? Oh dear.
Not impressed is tough.
We defended him heavily on the podcast.
I know you did, and I get it, like obviously Spurs, tough first game. I think this game against Bournemouth will be a real test. And I think if he doesn't perform or he has a very average game, I don't think he's going to win many people over.
Well, I think these are the games that are probably built for Wesley. These are the games we've built Wesley for. Because let's face it, these are the kind of games, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but Bournemouth at home, we need to win that game. If we're to do anything this season or to reach our goals or even just to stay up, we will need to be beating Bournemouth at home.
And the other thing is I think Spurs was kind of an unfair test for Wesley because it was like he's obviously come from Belgium.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different pace, and to play Spurs who are just incredible and they're going to give you the run around. So I think, Bournemouth will be a fair test. So let's see. Maybe I'm prejudging it.
If he's up against 3 centre-backs as well, I always think it's difficult for a lone striker against 3 centre-backs, so hopefully Bournemouth don't play that formation.
Yeah, but...
They got some danger men. Bournemouth, Callum Wilson obviously has been in the England team in the last year or so, and he's capable of sticking the ball in the net. It's not an easy game, but it's a winnable game.
Yeah, I think if we don't win, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
Especially watching how we played against Spurs.
Do you think the atmosphere will carry us through a little bit? Because Villa Park's bound to be absolutely rocking.
Yeah, first
on
home
Saturday.
game.
I mean, to be fair, the atmosphere was rocking in the away end. On Saturday, we were probably louder than the Spurs fans for large parts of the game.
Yeah.
Didn't hear a peep off them until they equalised.
Yeah, even then they were a bit...
Yeah.
It was only when they really went ahead.
It was almost like it was expected, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But then in a home game at Villa Park, first game back in the Premier League, you'd expect the atmosphere to be incredible.
Yeah, I hope so. I think it'll be incredible. Do you think, like, legit question, how much do you think the fans actually carry it? Like, how much do you think the fans can actually carry?
I think it can make a massive difference. If you look at that last time we were in the Premier League and the atmosphere was so toxic, it's not an easy place to play when it's like that. And the good thing on Saturday was that the fans stayed with the team, even when it went to 1-1.
Yeah.
Usually you'll hear the odd idiot shout something stupid. I didn't hear any of that on Saturday. They were very supportive, proud of the boys. At the end, they gave it a good go. We've lost to Spurs. It is what it is. But I know from speaking to players...
Love Island quote.
What is it? Oh, I don't even know. Trust you to come on here and quote and say it's a Love Island quote. That's not a good start at all. As I was going to say, I've never watched an episode of it in my life.
So
I will not watch that trash. Back to the football. So I know from speaking to players how much the atmosphere does help. If it's positive, they can really. I know it's cliche, but they can be the 12th men of Villa fan. And when the Villa fans are on it, it makes a big difference, because when we're on it, we're very, very good. It's when things aren't that great that sometimes it can go the other way, and then we really can be a hindrance to the side. But I think it makes a massive difference, and I think it'll be buzzing on Saturday.
I think it will be. I think the atmosphere will be good, and I think a lot of people are really excited to see this sort of Championship team come up, improved, and see how it clicks at home.
Yeah, it's like last time Jack Grealish played in the Premier League. Again, we were absolutely awesome. I mean, to be fair, he barely played. He came on as sub about 15 times, I think, last time we were in the Premier League. But,
have you seen that Jack Grealish stat?
Yeah, it's a load of rubbish.
Isn't it?
I'm pretty sure he didn't start many of those games.
Exactly, and I mean, how many years does it actually go back?
Well, it's 3-4 years ago, isn't it now?
I don't understand how you can compare that.
No, it's not comparable. But Jack Grealish is a different beast now, isn't he? If you look at him, I always say now, because he's a bit more physically built than he was last time we were in the Premier League. I look at him now as being the complete midfielder.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, obviously I can't say he scores goals because he hasn't done that in the Premier League after one game, but you know what I mean? Last season he added goals and assists. His numbers were good. He was always a player that was good on the eye, Jack Grealish. But his numbers were never great.
Yeah.
Last season he got all of it right. He all amalgamated together and he got everything right. Now I think he's the complete midfielder now.
How certain are you that he's going to carry that form through?
Pretty certain.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can never be 100%, but
of course.
I think he's too good.
Yeah.
I think he's too good. I think he's ready now. It's the right time for him to be in the Premier League. I think he's at the right stage of his development.
Yeah.
I think he's 23 now. I think this is the right time for him to come and take the Premier League by storm.
Yeah.
And I think he will, and I think he'll be a massive part of how we play on Saturday. And if we win, he will have had to have had a great game. Bournemouth have actually got some injuries going into the weekend. You've got a list, Annie. As I say, you've done your research.
I have done my research. There's
Jas Julian.
There's quite a long list.
Who's out?
Cook, Francis, Gosling, Brooks, Kelly. I don't know how many of these, though, to be fair,
Stanislas as well.
would actually...
Well, a few of them would play. I think Lewis Cook would be in their midfield. I was looking at Bournemouth's midfield that's a nice segue, actually. I've looked at Bournemouth's midfield in the past and always just thought, that midfield hasn't really developed from when they went up. People like Dan Gosling in there playing. But one man they have brought in from Huddersfield who got relegated last season is Philip Billing in there. Big lad. Good midfielder, picked up man of the match on Saturday, and Rollo's going to pull his screens up. Rollo's going to pull his stats up on the screen now. He had a good game, couple of shots from range, put himself about there. He's a player I thought perhaps with Premier League experience, 15 million, relatively young. I thought he might be someone. I know we ended up with Marvellous and Louise.
Yeah,
he was someone I quite like and thought we might have. Yeah, he was someone I thought we might look at in the summer because he's a tidy footballer. As well. Big physical presence.
We were just talking, and I think that he, without being disrespectful to Bournemouth, maybe
better.
Yeah. Maybe I feel like not necessarily.
You got to for Bournemouth.
No,
so no Bournemouth fans watch this. You're going to be getting all kinds of abuse in the comments.
I think he could have gone to a bigger club.
Maybe no one else was in for him.
That's true. Like you said, it would kind of happen late on. He's
played in Germany before. I think he could have perhaps gone back to Germany, but the Premier League's where it's at. Once you play in the Premier League, that's where you want to start.
And I think that would have been a big loss to the Premier League.
I mean, to be fair to him as well, again, hopefully no Huddersfield fans watch this, but it's a step up from Huddersfield.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I think the fans turned on him a little bit towards the end of the season. I'm not sure why that was, but let's face it, they were in big trouble towards the back end of the season. But Billing's the kind of player, I imagine his job might be to shackle Grealish on Saturday.
Do you know what I found interesting, though? When we were playing in the Championship, we spoke a lot about how a lot of players kind of just looked at Grealish, and some of the tackles that he received were just... Everyone was just sort of like going in for him.
Yeah.
And when we were at Spurs, I still saw a bit of that.
I think it's always going to happen.
No, but I think that's really interesting, because I think even when you go to Spurs, they still see him as an incredible threat, which I think says a lot about Grealish and how he plays.
Yeah. Talk about how people play. Bournemouth are obviously a team like us, will try and play the right way. They'll try and attack. They're not going to come to Villa Park and sit back.
No.
I think that will suit us.
Do you think?
Yeah, because I think when teams pen themselves back in, sometimes is when we would struggle to break them down. But Bournemouth will come and have a go. I mean, you saw against Spurs on Saturday.
Yeah.
That obviously at home they're going to take the initiative. We were dangerous on the break.
Yeah.
It could work that way on Saturday as well. That we can hit them on the break. Because we showed a bit of promise on the break on Saturday. I thought.
We did, yeah.
Trezeguet, he looked good.
He did look good. I'm excited to see a bit more of him.
Yeah.
But I think against Bournemouth, I'm really excited to see how we do.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited to see. I'm excited to see us at home, and I'm excited to see, Spurs played quite a narrow game. We were talking they didn't have much.
They didn't have much width, Spurs.
No, they didn't until Eriksen came on.
It just seemed to make the pitch 10 times bigger when Eriksen came on, didn't it?
And I'm intrigued to see how Bournemouth play and how we adapt. Because I think Spurs became a bit predictable.
Until Eriksen came
on. So I'm intrigued to see how then Bournemouth play and how we adapt to that. But just see what they play.
Yeah. Villa's team. You expect it? We've got a predicted team.
We do.
Here, and I've not consulted you in this at all, which is very rude. But I just think we'll make the one change. I think Matt Targett will come in at left back for Neil Taylor, just to make us a little bit more attacking at home. Yeah. It's harsh on Neil Taylor because I thought he had a very good game.
I think he did have a good game.
Arguably, maybe a candidate for the top three for man of the match, I would say.
Do you think?
Yeah, I thought he had a great game. Neil Taylor, I thought he was very good. Didn't put a foot wrong at all. But you need different players for different games, and at home. Matt Targett's been brought in because he's different to Neil Taylor. He's a bit more attacking. He's got a good delivery.
Yeah.
He can whip the ball in. He gets forward. Maybe not as strong defensively. I mean, I've not seen that much of him, so I don't know, but that's what I hear. But is there any other changes you'd think about making?
Well, were you happy with how our front played?
Yeah. Again, it's a tough test against Spurs, isn't it? I'd give those three another game up top. I think Trezeguet showed promise. We know what El Ghazi can do. Yeah. I think Wesley, this will be a much fairer reflection of his ability in this game. I wouldn't change anything else. The
thing that worries me is that I don't think, even if we wanted to change it, I don't think we've got. There's not much there to change. I think we need another striker.
Hotter had a good pre-season, but I think we did need another striker as well. There's Codger, who didn't do much for me. I mean, I think we can agree that we all had a very good window.
Yeah.
But that it was a little disappointing not to get a striker, because I do think we're short.
I think we're short.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't give us the option, and the worry is then that do we become predictable?
Could be. I mean, if Wesley doesn't hit the ground running or gets injured, I know
that's the worry.
I think we need more than what we've got possibly. Yeah. But we had a very good window, and
we can't complain.
It's difficult to pick.
Yeah, and also you've got to give Wesley a chance. And there's January. Or there's
free transfers. There's a couple of strikers.
There is
available, isn't there? Daniel Sturridge, Balotelli.
Yeah.
I would not want to see.
I wouldn't want to see Balotelli at Villa Park. But I heard you speak about Sturridge. Now, would you take him?
Possibly. I'm not 100% sold on it, but possibly.
Yeah.
I believe he's had talks, and for whatever reason,
it's just not
he didn't fancy it at the time. Whether he fancies it now is a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. See.
I mean, do we have to consider the ban, or did you get to the bottom of that?
I didn't get to the bottom of when that ban starts at all. You'll be surprised to learn. Right, just to finish off, then let's get your match prediction for Saturday. What score are you going for? Give me a first goal scorer as well.
I'm going 3-1 Villa.
3-1 Villa. It's big.
3-1 Villa, yeah. I think
Bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. I'm going to go McGinn.
McGinn first goal again?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's got a lot of confidence, and I think he played really well against Spurs, so why not?
I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. I can't remember what I did in our general predictions for the podcast, what score I said for this game. I think I did say 2-1.
Yeah.
But 2-1, I'm going to go that we go behind. I noticed in your notes that Bournemouth scored quite a lot of set-piece goals.
Yeah.
They go for Chris Meffam, who nearly joined us in January to score.
The stat is, since the start of last season, only Liverpool have scored more Premier League goals from set pieces than Bournemouth.
Okay, so I'll go for Meffam from a set piece to give Bournemouth the lead. As I say, nearly joined Villa in January. And then Wesley and...
You know Wesley's going to score?
He's going to score, yeah. And I'm going to say Hotter's going to come on and score, and we'll win 2-1. And everyone will be very happy if that happens, I imagine. Thanks ever so much for watching this match preview, and thanks to Jas for joining me. Really, really appreciate it. I know you're a bit nervous before you came on, but I told you, don't worry about it. You've come prepared, so very well done to you. Thank you for joining me today. If you didn't watch the podcast or listen to the podcast the other night, then you can go back and check that out. That'd be really great to get the views up on that. So if you could do that, that would be brilliant. If you're not already subscribed to the Villa View with your post notifications on, if you could do that as well, that really helps the channel grow. Give this video a like if you have enjoyed it, and give us your comments below as well with what you think going into the game on Saturday. Fan cams will be outside the hot end in the usual place on Saturday as well. Premier League fan cams, first time I'll have done Premier League fan cams, so I'm looking forward to seeing all the Villa fans there as well. If you see me on Saturday, come and say hello up the Villa. If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.